Hello and welcome to a video with me, Raindell, and today's video will be rather short. I just want to take a look at the banner and tell you about the value that I see potentially in it, and then go over the new shop and the new Mog Shop mainly, because they have some pretty insane deals in there. So let's begin. First of all, let's take a look at these summons, because that's probably what people are the most anxious about. So here is what we have. We've got free summons still, that's fine. We do have a 9-step, and that brings us with a total of 400 shards divided between Elsirelle and Garvall. Now, if you're planning on buying their shards and building them in the future, this is actually a really good deal, because you're getting 400 shards for 1400 total vision ore, not counting the other bonuses. Which just in terms of shard value means you're paying 35 per shard instead of the usual 50. So you're getting more out of your vision ore than if you were just buying the shards outright. So that makes it much more worth in my opinion, because if you go through the 9-step, even if you don't pull the units now, they're not time limited, so you'll eventually get them, and when you do, they will already be that much closer to being usable and potentially MLB'd. Especially since we're getting the login bonuses and then daily purchases if you're doing those, so you can end up having a pretty nice amount of shards for both those units, even if you were to not pull them. So that's my opinion here. We also have those guaranteed step-ups, where you can just get one of those for 6,000 paid vision ores. I would not advise that unless you're a heavy spender, because again, you can just pull them over time. So unless you need them now, it's probably not worth it. I prefer those for limited time banners. And then finally we have the 5 UR guaranteed 10 times summon, which for the first time has those 2 new units. So I was wondering, is it worth it to spend 2,000 paid viz for a chance at getting them? And here's the thing, they're not featured, they're just in the pool. And look at all these options that we have. There's a ton of units. Even if you can reroll it once, chances are you won't get the new units in there. So if that's the reason you're pulling there, don't do it. If you want to spend a little, you have a newer account and you just want a bunch of UR units, then maybe that is worth it. But for older accounts that are already pretty strong, that's not a banner I would advise pulling on. Alright, so that's it for the banners. Now let's go into the shop, and there's some pretty crazy things in here. So, the normal shop, not so much. If we quickly go over it, we have an anniversary countdown shop where there's a rainbow vision sphere for Jill. Be sure to grab those. Same for the Azure one. You can go for the MR tickets if you want a ton of MR units. It's always fun. Then there's this here, which is pretty good. For 1,000 paid viz, you can get 80 shards for the unit of your choice. That does include Gilgamesh and Ruinstern if you're building those. So if you're spending, it's actually really good value for your money. And then you could probably keep those until the anniversary, so you can get 80 shards for Gilgamesh, for example, towards their EX job as well. I'm probably not going to do that though, but it's not a bad deal. The rest in there is not that interesting. We've seen those, but there is the option to buy items, immediate +5s, and I had people in my guild asking me whether that was worth it or not. I don't have any interest, because I run the game a lot, and I'm just farming those pieces of gear in multi-rooms without spending energy. So I don't find a need for that. But for players that don't want to go through the hassle of building them, for 2,000 vision ore, you're getting a really strong weapon that you don't have to work for. So if you want to spend less time in the game and you already have a hefty stash, that can be worth it, actually, to get those. I would just look at what the options you currently have and then potentially go for it. If there's one of those that you want, it would probably be the golden armor, because it's a really, really powerful piece of gear, which grants slash resistance, which is still the most frequent damage type in the game. Then the rest in there is not especially interesting in my opinion. So that was it for this shop. We have a anniversary countdown shop that's going to be giving equipment material every day. And this Void Mega Crystal pack is interesting because it gives 200 Void Mega Crystal. And if you've been doing raids, you know that they're pretty hard to get your hands on. So if you're not doing a lot of raid, but you still have recipes that need those, you could go for it. I personally don't have much interest in it, however, because I've been raiding a lot and I just have a batch of those already saved up. And then finally, the Mog Shop. It has been reset, so there's a bunch of new stuff in there in the Friend Arena PvP medals, and it's changed entirely. First off, they took away Frederica and Shadowlinks. That's unfortunate. What we do have, however, is the option to outright buy Ildira, Mashery, and Ketone, and then buy 10 of their shards every day, plus Medina shards if we want those. And that's pretty impressive. Ildira is still a top tier character. Mashery's TMR is incredible, even though the unit is somewhat lackluster, so you could work towards that. And then Ketone is a very interesting character as well. So that's really nice for newer players, or older players like me that might not have these units MLB'd, or not have them at all. You can just spend a bunch of friend points to get them over the period of the month. And if you think about it, 10 shards a day, that can be 300 shards, basically, over a month, if they don't take it out. Actually, 340. And then with the unit as a bonus, you can get 380 shards for all of those. With the arena medals, there is the option to get Solidus card, which is a great card. If you don't have it, you should probably invest in them in there. And then Vow of Love and Secret Orders are also really strong cards, so for newer accounts it could be worth going in there and getting them as well. And then you can go and grab their shards as you go. There's nothing new in the PvP medal shop. However, the guild shop is also very interesting because now you can actually buy outright Xiza, Whisper, and Luartha. And that's a big deal. A lot of players have been resetting, trying to get Xiza and to find ways to get her because she's so important. But now you can just get them from guild medals and then again get their shards over the period's duration. And then I already have those 2 units MLB, that's why you don't see me buying them, but Luartha I don't, and she's another great unit, so you should definitely go for those. And then you have the option of buying Fenrir shards, Golem shards every day, and once during the month, Azure Fragment of Thought and Rainbow Fragment of Thought. So please take a look at those shops. Don't let them rest for 30 days because you know there's nothing interesting in there for you. They have been updated and they are incredibly generous for players. So, alright, that was it from me today. I don't want to take more of your time. Thank you so much for watching. If you had a good time and you want to see more of those videos in the future, please like and subscribe. It will make it more likely that they show up in your feed in the future. And so that was it. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.